Welcome to a Friday night edition of Kids Season. Thanks for joining us here tonight. And this is all on me while we're doing it on Friday night. But
Yeah, Brett.
I'm sorry, I'm a busy lad now. But I do appreciate everyone tuning in. How we doing tonight, Fox?
I'm doing fantastic. I understand our viewership's probably going to go down today because it is the first game of the season. USL League One's going on right now.
It's chaos. I was watching the first half. It was chaos.
It was a 5-goal half. I was watching a little bit of the second half while I was doing some dishes and no goals. But there's only one green women's team in Kentucky. Sorry, Michael Fuchs. I hate that racing kit. There is only one green women's team in Kentucky. It was an interesting choice for a away kit, and
especially not this green. I wish they would have leaned heavier into the mint, whatever this lavender. No,
well, see, it's dark mint. Hey. So that's because we talked about this. If you watch one of our past episodes,
last
week's interview talked about how like we had a kind of a deep dark purple that goes with the typical lavender. So they got a deep dark green that corresponds with the mints.
Okay.
But he also said that Nike has a little bit more control over.
A little bit?
Yeah. Nike has more control over it than.
I'm almost certain his words were they have all the control and we just marketed it.
Yeah. A little bit more control.
But that's not why we're here. Anyways, as Fox alluded to, USL has started once again. South Georgia Tormenta and Richmond Kickers right now. I think it might be done. I tuned out. But kicked off tonight. We got some good stuff coming this weekend. Not my Indy 11 yet. But the biggest league in the world is back, and we're here rating kits. So,
or if I'm wearing the right jersey, the biggest lurg in the world.
Biggest lurg.
I don't know which one I have on right now.
I think I have the lurg one, if I recall right.
Yeah, you kept your lurg one and gave away your league one.
I did.
You're such a nice guy.
I try. Speaking of nice guys here, thanks for the segue there. All these patrons down below who have benefited us to help us do what we do. So thank you to our patrons and John Hunt, Frank Anthony, Christopher Cohn, Harry Austin, John Fuller, Michael Fuchs, Joshua Duder, Noah Telford, Alberto Aguilar, Jeremy Churchman, Stephen Howard, Ryan Nakara, Tim Knotts, NFREG 30, MOS, Kunal Patel, Olive the Hedgehog, Andrew Towsley, Mad Cat Peel, I'm reading this way too fast, Ryan Smeltzer, and as always, Goals.tv for sponsoring the show. And also, if you notice about sponsors here, look in our upper right corner. That might look a little familiar. As of earlier, whatever. This is the first episode that Equipped Studios is sponsoring the USL show and Kit Season. And here's where I did a little word from our new sponsor. Do you want to get a custom kit designed for your team or supporters group by someone who's been trusted by clubs in the USLW League and USL League 2? Well, Equipped Studios offers more customization options than the big brands, only for the fraction of the cost. I can attest, I have several of their kits. Good quality stuff. So, but the mission of Equipped Studios is simple. Make professional quality uniforms accessible to all types of players, teams, and supporters, no matter the level of play. If you're less than thrilled with the new kits that your club has come out with this year, take matters into your own hands and create an official supporters jersey with inclusive sizing up to 6XL. I know that's a big thing here in Indy. It's one of the things that we've been fighting Indy on. So
corn.
It is, but it is. But Equipped Studios is starting to become a popular choice with official supporters groups. Do you have a Sunday League team that needs new threads? Because we all want to look good. That's their bread and butter. with their founder Austin being a Sunday league player himself, I believe up in Broad Ripple, which is not far north from me in Indianapolis. The best part is it's affordable. For just $40 a jersey, you can get something completely bespoke with name and number customization included at no extra cost. Because you are a listener of the show, mention the USL show and use the friends and family discount, which brings you down to just $35 per jersey. Check out the link below and tell them that the USL show sent you.
Yeah, I really wish Equipped was, I guess, more prominent if I knew about them back in 2020 when I made my my kit with, I made it with Icarus and it was fine.
You did.
And I still like it, but it would have been nicer to be able to get fully customized kit for $35. And then, because I charged $50 and I think I was getting charged like $45 or something like that. So I was only getting like $5, and all that profit was going to a hospital to fight COVID.
Oh, that's right. I remember that now. I remember that now.
Because COVID was a thing. Still is a thing. Get your vaccinations. I know that's not what this is about, but come on, guys. Come on, really? There's kids with polio now? Really? Come on. It's 2025.
Or in Spanish, it's pollo. We got chickens.
There's chicken.
Where's all them chickens? Oh, I'm sorry. Anyways.
It's a duck.
It's a meme. But but yeah, so please check out Equipped Studios. They officially sponsored the show and good friends of us here. So we highly support, highly endorse them. So please check them out and tell them that the USL show or kit season sends their regards. So, and with that, now that I did the ad reel of today's episode out of the way, time to get into tonight's first kit of the day. And we're going to go not far from me here, not in Indiana, but we're going to Columbus United. No, not the Crew, but Columbus United. New team to USL League 2. So please check out their new supporter kit / home kit for 2025. So yeah, that is the Columbus. Make sure I did this right. There it is. The Columbus. Actually, no, I'm supposed to do it like this. The Columbus United kit for 2025. What's up, Julian? He says, "What's up, Brett and Fox? Hope all is well." I think all is well right now. I would say. I think Fox and I are doing.
Yeah, it's been a long, sick week.
Sick week.
Michael says it's a Roma kit. It's not a Roma kit.
Or as I've quoted, it's a McDonald's kit, much similar to the Liverpool kit of this current season. I don't mind it. It just is a McDonald's kit in my eyes.
My issue with the McDonald's kit is that it's sponsored by Pepsi. The McDonald's is a Coke.
Oh, they are. But
problem.
That's not Columbus's problem here, I'm guessing, because they got Pepsi plastered on the back. I don't think they'll mind too much.
I personally love that sponsor though. Like, that's an old school. Like, I'm okay with Pepsi. I don't really care if it's Pepsi or Coke or whatever. Yeah. But that Pepsi logo just plastered on the back right there. That's dope. I'm okay
I
with
love
that.
it.
Yeah, I am okay with just I like when fast food or pop culture things, because most of the time your sponsors are things you have no idea what they are. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, we know what GE is, but that's also like a big brand, or like Purina. That's an interesting one for Louisville, or sorry, St. Louis. But to have like a big national brand like Pepsi just on your back like that,
I know, especially for a semi-pro team. So it's
right?
gonna be fun. But
And so I'll give a little bit of a background with this, because I do because when you look at our scores, I feel like it's going to look like we don't like this kit.
I
Uh,
can agree
but
with that.
but I do appreciate the fact that, one, this is a season ticket. We talked about this last year with Lionsbridge. So if you want to go back a year into our recordings,
Yes.
uh, there's a video of us interviewing the owner from Lionsbridge, and they talked about the same situation. They do the same thing this year too. So I'll always appreciate when teams make their kits and then make that a season pass. So then, because one USL games for seasons, you're only getting 6 or 7 games.
Right.
So like, I don't want to spend hundreds of dollars for 6 or 7 USL 2 games. Let's be honest. Like, I appreciate a good USL 2 game. I like going to them, but it's not going
It
to
is
be
what it is.
that type of funding in my eye.
Right.
So the fact that it's that is always cool to me, and I do appreciate that they nodded their past. They gave a nod to the past, and they could show pictures of them wearing the old Umbro, like literally plain, no badge, no sponsor, just a red Umbro jersey. And I like Umbro, but I appreciate the call to the past for it.
Yeah, no, it's one of the things that we always say. Not a lot of clubs have any history, a lot of team, so anytime when a club embraces any bit of history that they have, will always be a nice little soft spot from me. And honestly, with the rising cost of kits, I think incorporating into a season ticket just makes all the absolute sense. You do yourself a nice jersey. You can say, hey, this was my season pass. This was my way, like my collector. It adds to the collective experience, especially if you're from that area, and you have a local club. But so, shall we dive into tonight's store?
Yeah, I actually changed mine.
Of course you did. That's
already.
fine.
Already, just because of I just talked to myself into it. I'll go through my score while you fix all that stuff.
It's the first of the year, by the way, so I'll let it slide.
It's the first of the year. This is not the first kit we've rated. Oh, it's
No,
the first change.
first change of the year.
Yeah, it's the first time I changed it this year. Yeah. So design aesthetics, it's not bad looking at all. Like, I know you talked about the McDonald's thing. I feel that, but it's a classic pinstripe kit.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like a classic pinstripe kit. It's not a bad look. So it got a 3 for me. Authenticity and tradition. I actually moved this up to a 4. I think I had it at a 2, and that's why I changed so dramatically. Because this is it's a nod to their past, to their championship winning jersey, and it is almost the same jersey. So like, it's part of who they are, and they're using their colors, they're using their badge. So like, it has that tradition in it. So like, I on the other hand, I can't give it a 5 and see like, oh yeah, that's clearly a Columbus United jersey. Like you said,
Right.
that's a Liverpool jersey, that's a Roma jersey.
Right.
But that's what they used in the 70s. So I'm not mad at it. Visual details and execution, though, I mean, it's a 3. Nothing looks bad on there. Somebody might argue about the Pepsi logo on the back. It's a little too much, but you can't really control too much of that type of stuff.
No.
So I feel like everything fits well. Everything looks nice. It's just nothing special either. So that's a 3. And then my 1 is McDonald's FC. Yeah, Julian. They get it. Innovation and impact, though, is a 1. Like, I mean, there's absolutely nothing special about this. It's not innovative at all. There's no impact to it. It is a pinstripe Puma kit. And again, I said if Louisville decides to go with this next year, I'll be super stoked as a fan. Like I will love that, but it is going to be a one for innovation and impact.
Yeah. No, to that last point, I think for a home kit, and a two, a traditional throwback, I think the two, what their store here, the 2.63, I'll get into my store here in a second, is perfectly fine. You know, you're probably going to sell a lot of it, but it's not going to, get all the attention, right? Because unless you're certain teams, and we'll get to them in a later episode, at the Tampa Bay Rowdies, who've been celebrating, I think, 50 years now this year. But they are a much bigger brand and a lot of history compared to Columbus. So I think doing what they did, 2.63, history, simple, checks all the boxes. Just a little bit on the simple side, but that is what it is. But for me here, my scores, I give it a 3 for design aesthetics. As kind of Fox alluded to, it just is a Roma kit, Liverpool kit. It pinstripes. I think the colors are really good. I would be interested to see how if there would have been some way to throw in the blue a little bit, because that is a part of their crest. That would have been kind of fun to see, maybe. But in terms of the authenticity and tradition, I'll need to give it a 3, even with the past, the history, the tradition, a part of it. I don't know them for being red with pinstripes. So I think a 3 is a solid spot. It's their tradition. It's a relatively new tradition. I think the club's only been around a few years. So it's a relatively
Who's
new
there in
one.
the 70s?
No. I'm saying this incarnate of this team and its farm. Yes. And this is their first year in League Two as well. So they used
our first year.
Yeah. And they used to be in the NPSL. So new tradition for us. I think the 3 is a perfectly fine score for tradition. For the visual details, there's nothing wrong with this kit. I think this is a sharp looking kit. I'd rock this. I actually need some more red. I'm not dropping 100 on this for tickets, but it's a sharp looking kit with good colors. And the same with Fox. The overall innovation and impact, as it is a tradition oriented kit that is set in the past and kind of modernized, but basically a carbon copy of the 1973 kit. It's a 1 for me. So that gets me a 2.5, and with overall 2.63. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with this. This is a sharp look for a League Two side. And yeah, I'll be excited to see this on the field, and I hope to see more from them. Any more thoughts?
No, I mean, it's one I always love seeing new USL League Two teams show up. And we could talk about the kit value. It's not our lowest one.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. It got a kit value. Actually, now it's 26.25 because of my score changes.
Damn you.
I know. So it's not bad. Again, the value for this kit though, because it's $100, and honestly, $100 Puma kit is about normal anyways these days. Louisville's is a little bit cheaper now because they can afford buying more.
There you go.
But I feel like getting a $100 Puma kit's about normal, and the fact that you get season tickets with it, like it is your season ticket, that's where the value is.
And I'm pretty sure there's like 7 tickets, I believe, that they're slated to be playing at home.
If you're out in Columbus and you can't sit there, and actually Columbus Crew tickets aren't too bad at all, especially for a powerhouse that they are in the MLS. I'm surprised that their tickets aren't more. So big ups to them for making it for the people.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't they owned by the people, or do they have an ownership group?
No, so it's an ownership group, but the reason that they stayed is because of the Ohio law. Yeah.
And because they fought, saved the crew.
Mm-hmm. And they don't want another Cleveland Browns situation. But
Right.
yes.
And let's be honest about sponsorships. I know, like sometimes we're always like, sponsorships. Like, am I going to buy more GE stuff because it's on mobile kits? Honestly, probably. But I used to buy Barbasol because the Barbasol would have the Columbus Crew logos and stuff on the kits.
Oh.
And I'm like, you know what? This is pretty dope. I like that they're proud of who they sponsor too.
Right.
I mean, it's not like, yeah, we'll pay to put our name on a shirt. It's we'll put your logo on our stuff. And
Yeah.
I need a shaving cream, so I bought some Barbasol to actually shave with, not to like spray on stuff like people do.
Anyways, let's wrap back up kits here and not about shaving cream because I shave quite a bit. I might need more anyways soon. That was the Columbus United kit.
Shout out to our sponsor, Barbasol.
Of USL League 2, who's not sponsored by Barbasol, but they're sponsored by Houston Clinic and Pepsi. So, welcome to the USL. I'll be waiting to see more from you. So, moving on to our next kit of the night. We are looking at. Actually, I'm trying to get some better photos here. The next photo for tonight. My goodness.
Next kit
for tonight. Oh, I broke their website. Oh no, I broke their website. Oh, I hit RSS. Okay, cool. The next one for tonight is Detroit City FC and their home kit. I'm trying to find some better photos, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm going with it. Yes, I know.
We're so professional.
I know, I really am. But here is tonight's Detroit City FC kit. I wanted to find some better photos. I couldn't find any, and I tried to frantically look before I presented it. But this is the Detroit City FC kit, as what I have dubbed the Back the Basics kit. Because honestly, what?
That's the word. Basic.
That's the word. Well, besides that, if you recall last year, I think even the year before, Detroit City tried to be creative with their home kit, and honestly, I'm happy that they swung and tried to do something, but it just didn't work. This is Detroit City. This kit is I like some of their older ones, some of their NISA kits, and so I think they're like first season at USL, but this is Detroit City to me. And I'm happy they're back to those basics and not whatever that chevron was.
Yeah, I started feeling like that chevron was kind of them too. And like, I'm okay with the sponsor. It doesn't look bad, but I do miss, was it Chevrolet?
It was Chevy Detroit. I think it was Chevy. Yeah, it was Chevy Detroit.
Yeah, I miss the Skyline sponsorship. It was a cool sponsor to have. Again, that doesn't really affect my rating too much.
No.
But yeah, just like Julian just posted, it's Adidas. You can't do anything cool with Adidas. Hummel's, we know, bland kit.
Yep.
So it's not an ugly kit. They have one of the best colors in the league.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like that's also what saved Louisville so many times is they had the purple. So they had something really cool to put on a boring shirt. This maroon rouge that they talk about, which is really funny that they always talk about rouge, but then you look at the name of this kit, and it's literally just called Home Men's Jersey Maroon.
Right.
So the same people who are like, no, we're the rouge, we're the rouge, but you could buy a maroon kit.
You know what? As an indie fan, as a Louisville fan, at least we have a common taste, a common annoyance with Detroit City, and that's fine. I think they're okay with that. But USI's Midwest against Detroit.
I will respect the passion that Detroit has for their teams. I will respect the players who play for them, because let's be honest, no player really comes from the city that they're playing for, like ever. You know, there's always a few homegrown ones, and it's like one a team or something like that. So it's not like it's a huge thing. So I'll respect the players that come and represent the city.
Yeah.
But some of the fans that I have interacted with on the interwebs, I don't know, just grow up at this point. Like they just have this attitude of like they hate us because they ain't us. And like, no, like it's because we have clean water. Like, yeah, I said it.
Okay.
I said it.
Hi, man. We are here to rate kits, not start a war with the
Well, if I want to
NGS.
fight, they'll fight because that's
Not.
what Detroit
We're not.
does. They just fight.
Speaking of fighting, I'm here trying to fight, holding back a laugh at this point. We are so off track already. This is just on par
Just
for
gonna
us.
get me banned real quick.
You're not. I said more curse words. I'm more likely to get banned. Anyways,
That's true.
three tonight. Anyways, but for tonight's kit, as you know, we kind of talked about, it is a basic kit, but as kind of what I've been listening to, I think this is all you need for a home kit. Yes, it's boring, but I think for a home kit, I think having what your vibe, and this to me is Detroit City being your home kit is important. Now, is it pretty? Oh no. No, it's not the best kit there is. This one looks sharp. It's going to do its job, but it's not going to get all the rave reviews. It will because, as I alluded to, they're going back to the basics, and that's what I appreciate of this kit. As it kind of also, we talked about before the hand, I like the sleeves. The sleeves being white is a nice little touch. It's not
one of those
overdone.
things that they could control. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not overdone. It honestly might have been kind of cool to maybe see a white collar, but that might have been overdone. But that's just me. Anyway, so I'm going to dive into my scores here since you went first last time. So when I think of the design and aesthetics, as I keep talking about, it's a 4 for me. I think this is really sharp, and it just looks good. Now, obviously, I think the colors do a lot of the heavy lifting, but I'm fine with that. I think at times you need to embrace your colors and let your colors do the work for you, because a lot of teams spend a lot of time trying to craft those colors and that combination. So use them. And I think did here. Their tradition and authenticity, I said also a 4. This, as I said, this is Detroit City FC. There's nothing crazy about this kit, but it is Detroit City FC. And when I see a maroon kit, I think Detroit City FC. It's not my favorite of theirs, of their home kits, but it reminds me of them. Now, when it comes to visual details and execution, there's no details whatsoever. It's sharp looking, so it's a 3 there for me. And then lastly, the innovation and impact, solely because they went back to the basics. This gets a 2 from me compared to what they've done in the last few seasons. So this gets me a score of a 3.25.
Yeah, I feel like we have very similar views talking about our scores. Except for like design and aesthetics, I give it 3. There's nothing innovative about it, which I know goes with innovation and impact. But like when we look at the rubric, it says average design, nothing groundbreaking, and that's the only way I can describe it. Nothing special or groundbreaking. There's no creativity. Does it have an overall visual appeal? Yes, I do. Like it's not an ugly jersey. You know what I mean? Like it's just a plain jersey. It's like you said, it'll get the job done. Home fans will like it. You will know whose team that is when they're rocking it.
Right.
Like it gets the job done. So like I can't say it makes no sense and should get a 2 or a 1. It's an average design. Yeah. There's nothing special or groundbreaking about it. It's a 3. Authenticity and tradition, I also give 3. And that goes again with the fact that when I see it, I do know it's Detroit, and that's 100% because of the color. 100% because of the color.
Yeah.
They're the only one with this color. Like if this jersey was, I don't know, blue or something, like it could be a bunch of different teams.
Or a Louisville third kit from last year.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Um, so decent representation, but lacks depth or connection to the club's identity. Like it's maroon, it has gold
Yeah.
um, piping and stuff. So, like, I know it's Detroit, but that's all. Uh, Visual details, execution, that is a three. Everything fits well.
Yeah.
I've been noticing a lot more of upper sponsors on the
Yeah.
back.
I've noticed. Yeah. Wayne State
I've seen
there.
one, the Wayne stain on this. It's really interesting because, like, are the names going to go right there under that sponsor?
Or I'm wondering if not don't have names.
Nobody gets names. The
I've
players don't.
seen. I know
In
some.
America, I do like the little bit of nods and stuff that they have on the back. If you scroll down a little bit, you could see
Yeah.
what it actually says on the back, like "We Are Detroit" or something like that.
Forever for all. Everyone serve the club they will outgrow.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I like all the little nods and stuff that they give. Um, but then innovation and impact, I also said it was a two. Um, it's it's not 100% boring just because of the um, maroon and the gold.
Yeah.
But honestly, I probably could have gave it a one because there's no innovation or completely forgettable.
Yeah.
But I said a little innovation feels generic. So it's a one for me. So that gave me a 2.75,
So that's
which
three
is,
for us.
yeah, it's a three for us. Value wise,
Yeah.
the fact that it's $69, which one? But then two, that gives it a good kit value though. Like
Yes.
for $70, and
Solid kit.
it's a solid kit. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing crazy. Now on the other hand, since we don't rate goalie kits, can we pull those up real quick?
I will here in a second once we wrap this up. I'll pull them up.
But we're already in Detroit.
Fine.
Are you talking about wrapping this jersey up or wrapping the other three jerseys up?
This jersey, but
Okay, yeah, we can wrap up the maroon one.
Okay. But I just wanted to highlight here really quickly with the Detroit City kit and my ratings. I just want to make it clear if Detroit City had done this last year and then did this again this year, their score would be lower to me. I mean, because of what we've seen in the last few seasons, they get a little special bump there. So I'm taking some context into their kits. So I think Detroit City fans overwhelmingly enjoyed this kit because of that simple back to basics. And this is a replica kit. You know, there are some authentic kits, but on their site, there are no authentic kits for sale. So factor that into this value at $43.48, which is a solid value for an Adidas kit. But keep in mind, it is a replica, but this is still a really solid kit for your bang for your buck. So
yeah.
Now we can go on to your goalkeepers.
Yeah. Well, like one last thought too, though. Like again, if this is a purple Louisville City kit, I would be okay with it. Like I would buy this kit, but this isn't something that, as a collector, I'm going to buy.
Exactly, and I think its score of a three is perfectly fine with it. It's a solid home kit, and it just is what it is.
So we're going to tangent real quick and look at these goalie kits because I actually really like what they did with these goalie kits. It's super smart and super Detroit. But if we look at, click on the blue one that you're on, the baby blue. So if we look at this, it's a Detroit Lions jersey. Like how cool is that, right? Like that's so cool.
They had to pay for that. Just like that's like as close as you can like. I love it. I love it though.
It's just a baby blue jersey, and the sleeves just have the silver trim. So it's not like they're copying anything. The DCFC lettering is just a typical font that you can find on Canva. So, it's nothing like outwardly creative, but the fact that they took what Adidas gives them essentially, and they made it into something recognizable.
In Detroit.
And exactly, it's Detroit. This is a Lions jersey, but they get to use it for the goalie. And then if you look at the other one, the green one, which actually you could just scroll down, or not.
Yeah, too late.
It's old school '90s Piston jersey.
The good Pistons.
Yeah, the good Pistons.
Last seasons, which was pathetic. And here's one of the things that my only critique of this, I love that goalies are getting fun attention. Obviously, these are Adidas templates, so it's all in the colorway, which is what it is. Right. I wanted to shout out to these for that nod and that history tied into those colors for Detroit specifically. If you're not from Detroit, these colors mean nothing for you. But for Detroit, that's your target audience. They love it. The only small thing that I have a slight issue with is every single kit, and we'll get to the away kit some other later time. Every single kit has a different crest, including the home kit with the technically home goalkeeper kit. They all have different crests. It's a slight irritation to me, especially given Detroit City's crest is one of the best in U.S. soccer. I want them to use it more often. I know they have a bunch of different alternative logos, but I wish they would stick with that. That's my only critique here, and I'll just leave it at that. I know it's just a preference thing. It doesn't take away from the kit.
Yeah, and it does feel weird when you're sitting there on the same team. And I know goalies have different color jerseys, but now we're not even having the same badge.
Right.
Like, are we on the same team?
Right.
At that point, you know what I mean? Like,
maybe
that's
the point.
Right. Yeah. Get them off our team.
Or just confuse everybody. Be like, are you on their team? Are you on my team? I don't know.
I'm gonna save it. Oh, goal! Ah. All right. Cheap viewers on streamboot.com.
Ignore
Dope. It's just casual banquet commenting. Just one of our friends. It's probably on my Twitch.
Probably is, because you're just linked into. I don't think the USL shows will get this type of stuff.
Okay, no one else see that?
No. I'm saying I don't. I think it's yours. I'm saying the USL show probably does not get spammed. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's because I have like 1 billion followers.
Oh.
Yeah, give or take.
Let's give or take 1 billion and say it's like a dozen.
No, I have more than I think 200.
Oh shoot! I did not know that.
Yeah, I'm affiliated, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, I retract all of that. I retract all of that. I know I am. I apologize. Across the line. Across the Twitch line.
Yeah, that was thanks to our efforts and stuff during the 2020 shutdown.
Yeah,
and also we essentially all worked hard to make sure that we all became like affiliated.
I remember that. I didn't care as much, but y'all did. But speaking about putting care into something here, I'm going to go to our Nets kits here. And honestly, Charlie, I'm so happy they're here. Because our Nets team here needed a little bit of a facelift, and I was getting tired of what even though I think they did good with Puma, I was getting tired. Both teams we were coming up to both were with Puma, but I got tired of what they were putting out. So let me introduce you to the 2025 kits for San Antonio FC. Now let me go ahead and see.
This is where grit meets elegance, where tradition fuels. This is more than just a jersey. It's a statement.
It's the river, right? San Antonio River, right off the bat.
It's worn by those who defend, those who inspire, and those who create. From the streets to the stadium, from the cafes to the fire stations, this jersey represents us. It's not just fabric. It's not just a crest. It's a reflection of the city. The people bring the flavor. The people bring the style that makes this the 2-1-0.
I love that so much. I'm gonna try to do this on loop. Can I do loop? Can I do loop? Can I do loop? I can't do loop. I don't know how to do loop. Anyways, I love that kit. It's honestly so good looking. I got tired of seeing what Puma did with San Antonio, and I think this year they really sent a message, right? The real question is, let's see. But Julian asked here, the real question is, if their kits are good, will their season be good? And that's a different question, and we're not
Look
here
good,
to
play
rate that.
good.
Look good, play good. Also, I would go suggest you look at the full season preview of every team that the USL show put on YouTube. So if you want to check them out, see what the actual experts are saying, because that's not us. So
the other Phil knows a lot more than this Phil does.
Yes. And so does that other Indy 11 fan know much more than this Indy 11 fan. Anyways, but this is the San Antonio FC 2025 Rio kit. And honestly, this is one of the better looking kits across USL this season so far. And it's still early in our rankings. It's one of my favorites. It's honestly really good.
Yeah, it's fun to have a map kit that doesn't necessarily feel like an actual map kit.
Yes, that's
like it's more like a landmass kit, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, no, and it's slightly innovative too. And also, it wasn't just a map kit; they even did something different with it, which felt like a fun curveball, which I thoroughly enjoyed. The more I looked into this kit,
yeah, I enjoyed this, and Charlie comes up with good, honestly, good quality kits too. I still love like my Oakland one from last year.
Yes,
like it's just good to run around in and stuff like that. They feel nice. We don't really rate the feeling unless we ended up with every jersey.
I wish.
You know what I mean? Like if we had every jersey, we will rate how they feel. But
right,
just saying, guys, come on.
USL, listening. Anyways, no. Before I dive into my story here, if you were following along on our socials, I think the USL shows socials, you would know this is part 1 of our kit matchup of the week kit. This kit really is going to be fun to see see how it does on the pitch, and especially when contrast with kit we'll get after this one done. But this is part 1 of this week's kit matchup of the week, and honestly, it's well deserved to be honorable and talked about. And honestly, that forced our hand to talk about this because honestly, it's such a good looking kit. So yeah, do you want to go first, Spots, or do you want me to go in first? Kind of talk about this.
I'll rate it. That's fine. Designs and aesthetics, it's a 5. Like I can't find anything that I don't like about the design at all.
No.
So that's easy. Okay. Authenticity and tradition. I gave a 4 because they will most likely be bad or boring. So Julian said, note to any new clubs, don't have a kit partnership with Adidas, Puma, or Nike because they will most likely be bad.
I mean, it's not his words. It's not our words. It's his words, and I'm not going to disagree with that.
Yeah. The only issue is I question the word bad, and I'll just replace it with boring.
Yeah.
Because, again, Detroit's wasn't bad. It's a nice looking Detroit. It's just a nice looking kit.
Yeah.
It's not special. It's not local. The only thing that made it local is if they have a special color.
Right.
So, but this is
most teams nowadays do.
Yeah. We're going to get to the away kits later, but I really like that they're using the color schemes on the sides. But that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that later. So authenticity and tradition, I did give a 4 because, well, it is black. and that's their colors. But on the other hand, I feel like it strongly represents their area, but it has room to improve. I don't know. I just felt like it could have been better. I do like the red stripes. Like, you can't even see it. You can kind of see the details there, but there we go. So you can see the red stripes going down where the area is. So
that's honestly my favorite part about this kit. Honestly,
it has like the red stripes going up and down, like the pinstripes. Then it has almost black pinstripes, or I don't know, horizontal stripes on the top area.
And then you zoom in and you see it.
So that's very cool stuff. Visual details and execution, also give a 4. I might regret that later. But there is attention to detail. There is everything for, man. Yeah, I can't argue against myself. I'm changing my score again. All right.
Twice in one episode?
Yeah, I take it back.
So it's slightly increased now. So give me a second. I'll let Fox continue talking.
Innovation and impact. I said a 4 this time. I'm going to stick with this 4 because we have seen map kits. I will say this is probably the best innovation of the map kit, and I still like map kits, but we've seen a lot of map kits.
Yes.
So I will stick with my 4. Personally, maybe it's more of a 4.5. If you say it's a 5, I will also, I agree with you that it's a 5, but to me it's a 4.
Yeah.
So that's a 4.5 for me now.
So and I did make the edits. You've done it twice in an episode, man. You're so good. You're so good for 5 weeks.
I know. And then I just keep talking myself. That's the issue. I'm like, oh, I do like this.
Hey, I know we don't change it because if I have a score, I just go with it, and I sync with whatever I've done previously. I try not to do it, but that's just me though. But my score, it's a 5 for design and aesthetics. This kit just looks phenomenal. I love the colors. I love the collar and the cuff both being like 2 striped. That it just looks so good. The red and the white, especially on the black kit, it stands out. It looks good. And I'm a big fan of that. So it's a 5 there. Ignore the cheap streamers. Anyways, next we go to authenticity and tradition. I still only give it a 4 here. I'm not going to give them much more than a 4 for having kind of a map-ish kit that's black. That is, I expect a black kit from San Antonio, and we got that. But then they added in a little bit of a map kit, and I'll just keep it at that. I think a 4 is pretty good for them there. Next, we go to our visual details. I'm keeping it a 4 because I think while there are lots of details and it looks really good, I still wanted to see some. A 5 for me is going to be really hard. I'm not going to lie. I probably have way too high expectations for me here. But it's a 4. It's a 4 here, and my thought is probably more.
We've been doing this for too long. We have we need, like, when we first started doing the show, we literally had 0 rubric, and we were just giving scores literally just 0 to 5,
and just vibes.
And it was mainly just vibes. And now we have expectations.
And that's why if you look at our past kits, we gave a lot more 5s. But I'm trying to acquire a better palette. I'm trying to judge this. So I still think it's a 4 here. It's far closer to a 4.5, honestly, in the details. That's just my take. But for its innovation and impact, I say this is actually a 5. And I say that because they did an interesting take that I personally don't remember on a map kit. I think it looks different. And it looked sharp. And if you're from San Antonio, and I'd even say if you're even not from San Antonio, this is something that you would want to pick up. This looks sharp. It's a Charlie made kit, so you know the quality is there. It's creative. It looks good. And I can't really knock on this kit. Yes, there's some things that I would probably aspire for, but with its innovation and its impact, it can't be it. You can't do much better. It's a 5 there for me, so it's a 4-5 for me as well. So this 4-5 from Fox and myself puts this kit at number.
I think it's 3.
It's now number 2 because of your adjustment there.
2. Oh yeah, so
yeah, you really did an adjustment there on me. So yes, so it is a number 2 on the season for this year, and honestly, that's well deserved. Which means its kit value for only being $90, but being as good of a kit that it is, this is our best bang for your buck, I believe, this season. I think it's up there. Let me just confirm that real quick, because it's a 50 for your bang for your buck value. This is really good, and it is indeed the best kit in terms of bang for your buck from San Antonio. This is a phenomenal kit. It's $90. It's going to be high quality, creative design. This is worth it if you want to add it to your collection.
Yeah, and that's the big thing too. Like, this is something that, like, you don't have to be a San Antonio fan to appreciate. Like the Detroit, again, it's not an ugly jersey at all, but you're going to want to be a Detroit fan to buy that jersey outside of Detroit. You know, I don't see other fans picking this up other than those people who just literally buy every single home jersey.
Right. I see what you did. That's what you did there. Hey, to each their own. But this San Antonio kit's got to be up there for a lot of people, even those who may not collect soccer kits. I think this just looks really good and is a sharp-looking kit. It is reminiscent, actually, of last year's Oakland kits in terms of its impact. Except there's a little bit of San Antonio vibe.
Or is that just because it's a black kit and it's Charlie?
I mean, there's that too, but I'm just saying the way it's vibing, the way it just looks really good. And Julian says that they would give it give the kit a 4.3 to 4.4. I think our 4.5 is matches right along. I think this is a top of the line kit, really solid. Can't really go wrong with acquiring it. So that was kit number 1 of this week's kit matchup. However, we're going to pop you into kit number 2 for our kit matchup of the week. And this one, we are going to the team I'm so happy they got their stuff together and ditched Puma. Way more than I did San Antonio. We're going to go to Monterey Bay and get introduced to their 2025 kits. Sit back and watch.
It's a fun video.
All I'm saying is that is a different vibe than some of the other Charlie videos, and I'm honestly here for it. I love it, and also that Land and Sea, pint of that Land and Sea beer. I kind of need to try that now. So it looks really good, and it made me thirsty. But yeah, so as we kind of alluded to, this is actually one of my teams to watch for 2025, given what we had discussed in their public disliking of Puma and their partnership with Puma. Monterey Bay sent a message saying that we wanted to use our colors. Well, I think they did finally, and
Yeah,
I'm happy that they did.
Because that's always been our issue with Monterey Bay. Like, you never knew what kit you're going to get. Like,
Right.
I guess, the same issue that Louisville had last year with Adidas. You kind of ran out with templates, so you start playing with colors.
Yep. Or press.
Yeah, and Monterey always had like yellow and stuff.
I think their third kit was black and yellow, which was I think one of their better ones, but it's a third kit, so colors really don't matter at that point.
Yeah.
But I think their home and away were like just one was blue and one was white, and I think that was about it. Wasn't good.
Yeah.
But these are.
So I really like what they did with the kit. I really like the fact that you can see the kind of the crest logo, the wave,
Yes.
within the jersey. I feel like that gives it a nice design and aesthetic. So do you want me to just hop into my grades?
One more second.
Yep.
Yeah,
Go.
and by the way, just so you know, we are in part 2 of our kit matchup of the week is the Monterey Bay Crisp kit, as what it's called. It's their away kit. I personally think it's going to look great compared to the black and red with the vivid blue that they have, or very crisp. I'm going to really emphasize that P, crisp blue that they have here. It's going to look really good, and I think this is a Charlie matchup in the making, and it's going to look great. So for people who like kits, tune in to San Antonio FC versus Monterey Bay tomorrow night. Now
we were between this and another Charlie matchup, which is kind of funny. It was 2 Charlie matchups.
They're taking over, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, they literally did take over physically, but anyways, so overall, I gave this a 4. Honestly, for everything's a 4. But I'll talk about why. Design and aesthetics. My only issue is that they only did a little bit with that detailing of the wave. It's like one big wave kind of throughout the right side or the player's left side of it. But it's refined enough to where you can't see it automatically, but when you look at it, there's the detailing in it, which I always like that type of stuff. That's why I usually like the embossed stuff or the
Westchester kit.
Yeah, I'm okay with the Westchester kit.
But that's your style you like.
Yeah. Well, I find those detailings appealing.
Yes.
Like you don't have to go all out. Like you can hide it in there, and they kind of hid their logo into the shirt, but you can still see it though. It's not embossed. It's in just a slightly darker blue. So I like that. Authenticity and tradition. They are finally going with their authenticity, which is nice, and their tradition. So hopefully they just keep going with it. I couldn't give it a 5 yet because they don't really have
yet.
Because they've been everywhere. So the fact that they're going more traditional, is that the tradition? You know what I mean? Their tradition has been untraditional.
They're traditionally untraditional.
Exactly. Visual details and execution, though, I mean, it's a 4. There's just nothing special about it, though, to me. Everything fits right. Nothing looks bad. There's just nothing extra interesting or anything special with that. And same with the innovation and impact. Like everything looks everything looks good. There's nothing bad about it. There's just a little bit of innovation with it, with the wave of the badge on the body. Maybe I almost feel like I would want more of those waves. And the fact that they did their wave, though, I appreciate. It's not just a wave. You know what I mean? Like that is the wave from the badge going through there.
Which is nice.
Yeah. So overall, it's a 4 from 5.
Yeah, so for me here, honestly, as much as I love this color blue, I love it. I believe they officially called this blue signature crisp blue colors is what they called it. So it's a crisp kit, but it's a crisp blue officially. I'm saying the P. I am sorry. I
Yeah,
pronounced that
you are not
really
saying
big.
the P. You are enunciating that P. Crisp.
Crisp. Anyway, so it features two wave-like designs reminiscent of the waves in their club's crest, like Fox alluded to, and includes kelp blue trim on the sleeves and collar. Additional details put on the club's nickname, Crisp and Kelp, being inscribed on the inside of the neckline. Now, outside of the color, I'm going to be straight honest, this is a bit on the boring side, and I'm okay with that. I think I've been wanting to see this blue be used on a kit for Monterey Bay, and I think this pairs perfectly with the home kit, which we'll get to at a later episode. But this looks really good, and I love the blue. That's where I'm going to start off with this before I dive
I
into
love
my
the
rankings.
color. I love
Yes.
the color.
And I think that does a lot of the lifting though on this away kit. The
Yeah.
home kit is a much better, but this is an away kit. It doesn't have to have all the bells and whistles, but I think the color is important for Monterey Bay. They emphasized it this offseason, and they got it. So, with that being said, I think its overall design and aesthetic is a 4 for me. This just looks really good. I love the blue on blue, particularly having the crisp blue being the main focus. I love that color. But then when it comes to authenticity and tradition, this is an away kit. I'm keeping it at a 3 right now. Now, if they keep this up, I can see me bumping this up. There are other teams who have this type of a blue. I'm thinking on top of my head, Madison, it's a slightly different color. I'm thinking of Tormenta, which has played around with it. The Miami FC plays around with their greenish blue that they want to call it,
Yeah,
their
they
aqua
have like
blue.
a little bit of a darker version of it, but yeah.
But there are teams who have played with this. This is an away kit. I'm okay with it not being authentic and traditional. It's a 3 there. Okay, but it's visual detail and execution. This is just a solid kit. It's a 3 there for me as well. And now finally, I think it's innovation and impact. Given the history and context of the team, I gave it a 4. I think for Monterey Bay fans and many people who've been following them since they joined the championship have been longing for them to do something. So I give it a 4 there. And I think this is finally getting to that and will have a big impact for that reason, I think, alone, actually. But it's still a 4, which is why it's not bigger. So that brings me a 3.5. Not as high as yours, Fox, but I think overall 3.75 for a very sharp-looking, kind of middle-of-the-way kit for an away one.
Especially for the fact that it's not a white kit. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, I think that's the important one.
because that's kind of the go-to. That's what you would expect with the away kit. So the fact
Right.
that they went with their blue as the full kit, like this could have easily been a home kit technically.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, and it's more of a secondary kit instead of an away kit, and I like that. I think that was technically, their verbiage was a secondary kit. So it's
and
not.
We've had that conversation in our Discord.
Yeah.
In the past, where we've talked about the fact that like a lot of soccer teams and football teams, they don't have home and away kits. They have primary and secondary kits.
And
I feel like this
alternative.
I think the alt third kit's something that they just want to have fun with. And I feel like this is the perfect example of a secondary kit versus an away kit. Because you do those away kits, all of a sudden you have a home kit. Unless you are any other American sport, because for some reason in American sports, the away team gets to wear their colors, but the home team wears white.
It's
it
confusing.
Makes no sense to me.
Outside of the Dallas Cowboys. No. The Cowboys
No,
wear white at home.
Yeah, they wear white at home.
No. It's flip flopped in the NFL. In the NFL, the colors are at home. The away teams wear white, except the Dallas Cowboys, who wear white at home. But
No,
Yeah.
everybody wears white at home. The Bengals wear white at home unless they have like a special blackout day.
no, because the Packers wear green, the Vikings wear their purple, the Giants wear their
At
blue.
home?
Yeah, at home.
What color jersey?
Because I know in basketball, you're
team?
well. Anyways, having the distinction between essentially a white kit and a color kit, I think it's a little overplayed in American sports. In baseball, it's home teams wear white.
Well, apparently in the NFL, they just get to choose, and the visiting team must wear the opposite.
So it changed slightly, but
Yeah. And I know in baseball though, it's that way. And apparently, Michael says the Dolphins are the only team that wears white at home regularly.
That's what it was. Thank you, Michael. Oh, because it's so hot down there, I think they wanted to wear white at home and let the opposing teams wear the dark colors. That made sense. Thanks, Michael. Hey, I don't follow that much in American sports, so that makes sense. Except for my Minnesota Twins. I don't really follow.
Yeah. In baseball though, traditionally, home team wears white. And maybe in NCAA too, because like I know like as a Kentucky fan, typically our home jerseys are the white jerseys.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with you. The only thing I would say, I'm tired of seeing color and white. I want to see color and color.
Yeah, because
instead of color.
I don't think anybody has black and white TVs anymore.
No.
Yeah, 'cause that was the issue. That was the reasoning behind stuff. They wanted, and they had issues with teams that had like light colors.
Yes.
And whites because they were too similar.
But
So
I think nowadays we can move past that, I think.
Right. And now I do want to make sure that we're not, keeping anybody who is like colorblind and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if it's two very obvious different colors and one's darker and one's brighter,
generally fine.
Problem solved.
But speaking of problem solves, where it comes to breaking your bank, this kit is actually a 39. Okay, it's a bit of a stretch.
It's about
there.
average.
Yeah. So this is a pretty decent bang for your buck. The Detroit City one is better to that price point, given this Monterey Bay is at $95, but it is Charlie, and it's not a replica. Again, take that into effect. We should do that one is maybe next year for this bang for your buck. We should like times it by like a certain number if it's a authentic kit versus a replica kit, because you and I both know there is a difference.
Yeah, there's a quality difference.
Yes, in badges, sponsorships.
And I think that's shenanigans. I'm so mad about like the sponsorships. The first one I've ever seen that do that is the MLS. That makes no sense to me. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Like all of a sudden I don't get the Apple logo on it because I didn't pay $400.
Or you get some crappy version of it put on and not like a little bit more nice-ish. I've seen sometimes. Yeah, or even the MLS badge. I remember I got one and they didn't even have the MLS badge on it. I'm like,
yeah. I bought an authentic one and it didn't have the MLS badge on it. That made me mad.
Oh shoot, really?
Because I will say I got it on sale at a great discount. So like I'm not
too upset.
Yeah, I'm not gonna throw a fit about it. I didn't pay the like essentially $200 for a authentic MLS jersey, luckily. But yeah. It's shenanigans.
So it is shenanigans. So as I always say, if you can afford it, always shoot for the authentic kit whenever possible. I think that's the best feel, and it just is the overall better quality kit. Now if you just want to have kits, obviously do what you can, but I always steer for the authentics. So take that into consideration with our bang for your buck values. We will release these at some point to everybody and be like, hey, here are the kits pre-sale that are bang for your buck. which leads us to our last kit of tonight. We kind of alluded to them a little bit here earlier in the episode, but tonight's final kit of the episode is going to our good friends at Lionsbridge FC. Maybe we should reach out to them again about this kit. Anyways.
Yeah,
yeah.
If you make sure you watch that interview, it's really interesting because this goes again with what we were talking about with Columbus. This is their season ticket. So like you buy this jersey, you get into every home get.
Yes.
Every home
game with this kit. But yeah, no, I think this again is a great idea. I wish more clubs would do it, and it makes teams put in some bit more effort into their kits. As a result, you tend to see a little bit less template-y with their kit game. So with this one though, I'm just gonna hop right into the store, and honestly, its overall design to me, it's a basic 2. It could almost be in Inter Milan kit. And even though that could work, I still think that it overall just doesn't fully vibe with me. So it's a 2 there for me. Maybe we're a little harsh. Or, as Julian said, instead of Inter Milan, this kit kind of reminds me of Atalanta in Serie A and in Italy. And honestly, it does. I think both of those, and I think that's kind of where this kit is kind of steering me to. I think that's part of the reason why it's kind of low for me. The authenticity and tradition, it's a 2. It's a black and blue kit, as I just said. I think of Atalanta or Inter Milan, or even CF Montreal before I think of it. So tradition doesn't fit there with me. But its overall execution and visuals, it's a 3 there. The visual details and execution, a 3. I think overall it fits together and it looks good. But then the overall innovation, because as I said, it's kind of a simple kit, I give it a 1. So it's a 2 for me overall.
Yeah, and I'm essentially in the same boat. Overall, like honestly, like I like the jersey. It's not a bad looking jersey. And I will say the fans voted for this. They do a fan vote essentially at the end of the season for the next season. And the fans voted for this. So this is what the
fans wanted.
The Lionsbridge people wanted. That's fair. You know what I mean? Go for it.
Fair game. Yeah, and I think they draw crowds of like 8,000.
Yeah, they always have a good crew there. And I do appreciate what they're doing down there. I hope I get something closer to that now that the St. Louis Ambush are in the USL League 2. Now, they've always had good kits, and I do wonder if they're going to be wearing those jerseys.
Yeah.
So, but that's for a different episode. These kits, I do 100% agree with everything you're saying. That like this doesn't scream like it's not obviously a Lionsbridge kit. You know what I mean? It's the blue and black, which is Lionsbridge. But besides that, so design and aesthetics, it's a 2. It's nice looking. It's boring. Authenticity and tradition, I gave it a 2. It is their blue and black, but this could easily be a Atalanta kit. This could be a Milan kit. Yeah. It could be, honestly, it could be my high school's kit that I work at because we are like royal blue and we like to use the black a lot. So 0 special stuff that. Execution, though, 3, everything fits well. Everything sits right.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't look physically bad at all. But then innovation, I gave a 1. It's just, there's absolutely nothing special about it.
Yeah.
Honestly, we do have 0s on our
rubric.
This one, and honestly, probably the Columbus one, you could argue a 0 for innovation and impact. I think the colors might be lifting up some. This one, though, like the red and gold is kind of an interesting color because you kind of get that like McDonald's and stuff like that. This one, I don't feel like you get anything special.
Yeah.
Like this could easily just be a high school kit.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the University of Kentucky's kit is essentially this, but not black. It's white.
Here's the thing that I'll say about this. As we kind of compare this kit with Italian clubs, this kit's actually made in Italy. As I said in footnotes, these Italian-made jerseys run small. So our brains go to Italy. The kit is from Italy. But I think the overall design, as Fox kind of alluding to, it's rather simple. It's not a template, and honestly, more that I think about this, I think we're being semi-harsh on them, compared especially with Detroit City. But I think with teams like Detroit City who are a little bit more simple with what they did, I think their colors really help pull them through. I think what we've seen here with Lionsbridge, it's more normal kit colors of black and blue. I think we've seen that quite a bit, and the colors don't really elevate each other, really stand out. I think that's really hampering Lionsbridge here a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Even though we're being a little harsh, but that's fine. I said first episode, we're allowed to be harsh this year. We are now. We're getting there.
Dropping the hammer.
Dropping the hammer. Call hammer if ever hit by a truck. And speaking of dropping the hammer, this kit, if in terms of your bang for your buck, again, this is $150 for a kit and like 7 or 8 home games.
Yeah, so this.
Yeah,
It's always so hard. Like, I don't like sitting there and like, this one's doesn't have as good a bang for your buck. I mean, technically, yeah, you're right. It doesn't.
Yes.
But like, let's be honest,
it's more than just a jersey.
It's more than just a jersey. Yeah, exactly. It's the whole thing.
So I think Fox, what we can do going forward, or at least next year, I think we'll keep the same numbers that we've had this year. We can mock it up a little bit now if we wanted to, but I think next year, I think we should have 3 multipliers for a jersey, or at least 2. I think 2 multipliers. No. So basically, every time it don't be a ×1 if it's an authentic kit, times like 0.75, 0.5 if it's like a replica, and then like a 0.75 whatever if it's part of like a season ticket package. I think it helps weight it, but also not hurt the score as much or whatever. We can come up with a system, but I think they should not be hampered as well as Columbus in terms of their bang for your buck value if they are lumping them in with season tickets.
Yeah.
And we will find out some way to do that.
The fun thing about the bang for your buck, though, is there's no perfect score. Like, you can't have a perfect score. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's out of 50 or something like that.
Right.
Because the price is always going to be different. So, like, if we both give a 5, it's the perfect jersey. But this one is $49 and this one's $103. The $49 is going to have a huge score because of the price difference.
Yeah,
so,
and I think that just is what it is, and that's something that we can try to factor in, maybe.
No, I just think that's cool. I like that. That's what makes the bang for buck an awesome part of this section is because there's no perfect score. You can't get 100 out of 100. You can't get a 50 out of 50.
Exactly.
Like it's going to be our scores versus their price.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be different.
Exactly. And honestly, thanks, Taylor, for the suggestion week 1. I think that's been a very welcome addition. And as always, we always like to say, if you guys have any thoughts of things that we should try to include, talk about, maybe even not talk about as much.
Do we talk too much?
Or we show too many videos, don't show enough videos, we don't get more into the details, whatever have you, please let us know in the comments. We try to be a people's channel. I'm going to say
a show for the people.
A show for the people, because we are the biggest kids season
league in the world.
So we try to do our best there and try to support and show things that you guys want us to talk about. Which leads us to our favorite segment. So no matter what you say, this is always going to be in the show. So no thoughts on that. We're going to do our kit show off of the night. Thoughts? Are you Rod? Which one have you decided what? Like, have you figured out what kit you're wearing?
Oh no, it's on the back, so I don't know.
Which version? Okay.
But either way, it's my favorite one because I essentially designed it.
You did.
I will say they were a little heavy on just doing like polka dots on this like paint splatter like I wanted. But nonetheless, the USL show presented by Protagonist.
Yes.
Got the protagonist on the side, nothing on this side. But one of my favorite features has all 6 colors on the sleeves.
Just like our logo, if you look up in the upper right
just
corner,
like
has every single level of the USL pyramid minus the USL Premier. So,
well, they don't have a color yet, okay?
That's fair. Show me purple.
Equipped. So actually, and speaking of this jersey, it's in the works. We don't know anything details with it, but we are trying to work with Equipped to make a new USL show kid season jersey.
So hopefully we'll have some fun giveaways and we can rock them for the show for you guys.
Yeah.
So, and maybe make some money.
Right. Yeah. Because I know the main show is trying to get to, I think, California again. Where are they going? They're going somewhere on my birthday.
And I don't know anything. Yeah. I'm not. My head's in the sands. I don't know. But, if you know, this is the biggest show in the world for the biggest lead in the world. We got to do big things, and that is, cover things live.
That's why we have big prip-ups.
Yes, and I have a Pikachu back there holding a stereo balloon.
That's bigger. My big Pikachu is holding my big prip-up.
But before I forget, I'm gonna. Here's my kit. It's not USL related, but this is the new.
It's USLW.
It's okay. Anyways, so this is the Racing Louisville kit. Shout out to Jonathan, VP of Marketing from Blue City / Racing Louisville, with a great interview from last week. Please check that out. It was a fun time to chat with them. And I got this kit from it. Honestly, I need some more NWSL / USLW kits in my collection. So, and I did need some more green. So I appreciate it. This fits really good. So shout out to Jonathan there for that. So, yeah, and that's kind of how we're going to end tonight's episode. As we've kind of talked about, be sure to check our interviews. We have great interviews with San Francisco City and their newly released denim kit. We talked with Scott from Minneapolis City about their whole process being community owned. So check out that interview. And as I just mentioned, Jonathan from Blue City. We're doing all the interviews here. We have all the content for you guys. So please be sure to check it out. Like us, watch it, listen to it, because people are noticing. And we're doing a new sponsor like Equipped Studios, which you should follow the link down below and tell them we sent you for a nice little discount on your jerseys.
Yeah, make your supporter group jerseys. Like,
yes.
I know like Aunt Cooper's, if anybody's listening, I don't remember seeing any new Cooper's jerseys in like a couple of years. So come on, guys, let Equipped play with the purple and gold, because I would love to see what they come out with.
But yeah, so that is tonight's episode. Thanks again for joining us on this Friday night. We will be back on a normally scheduled Thursday night episode. Sorry for going late. We got off on tangents, as we always do. We'll try to keep it doing.
I've never gone on a tangent.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But we'll be doing maybe some fun giveaways inside of Discord, maybe even on socials, and as well as the fan vote band kit pick of the week coming back, because there's a lot of kits out there now. So with that to do, I'm going to say thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It's been a great night, and we'll talk with y'all next week. Thank you.
Thank you for watching another episode of the USL Show.
The USL Show is now proudly part of the Protagonist podcast family. Please go to protagonistsoccer.com to check out more work. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see everyone again next time.